6 boys from a school ran away one day and ended up stranded on a deserted island where they remained trapped for a full 15 months. The most astonishing part was whether they would eventually be found alive or dead. Suddenly, one day, the boarding school staff realized that 6 boys had disappeared in the darkness of the night. At first, it seemed they had run away from the strict rules and gone home, but when the school called their families, they learned the boys had not reached home either. A missing persons report was filed with the police, and the search continued for several months. But when nothing was found, the case was closed. This incident begins in 1965, when 6 boys went missing from a well-known large boarding school in Tonga. You must have seen boarding schools in movies, waking up early, strict discipline, every task done under rules. That is why these 6 boys had grown completely fed up with the school system. Their names were Sione, Stephen, Kolo, David, Luke, and Mano. One evening, all these friends were sitting and chatting when Sione said, "Come on, let's do something that brings peace to our hearts and frees us from these school chains." He suggested, "Why not have a little adventure and visit a nearby island?" The others replied, "We don't even have permission to leave the school. How can we go so far?" Then Sione revealed his plan. "We'll sneak out at night, explore the island, spend the night there, and return to school in the morning." Everyone agreed with Sione's plan and began preparing to go to Fiji Island. Fiji was approximately 800 kilometers from Tonga, but these innocent boys had no idea how dangerous this journey would turn out to be. The biggest problem was the boat. They had neither a boat nor enough money to buy one. However, just a short distance from the school, fishermen kept their boats parked. They made a plan to take a fisherman's boat at night, go for a trip, and return it in the morning. When everyone in the school had fallen asleep that night, the boys quietly collected food from the kitchen, took a gas stove as well, reached the boat area, stole a boat, and set off toward Fiji. The difficulty was that they had neither a map nor a compass. Finding the way in the ocean without these was impossible. After traveling for a short while, sleep overtook them, and one by one, they all fell asleep. Let me tell you, the ocean at night is never calm. Huge waves appear to fly in the air. Suddenly, powerful waves crashed into the boat, breaking everyone's sleep. The boys tried their best to control the boat, but due to the force of the waves, they couldn't tell which direction it was going. When the waves calmed a little, a large island appeared ahead. Everyone jumped with joy. They wanted to steer the boat toward it, but the night waves had damaged the boat so much that all control was lost. They all put their hands in the water and began rowing like paddles, somehow reaching the shore of the island. They were still at the bottom of the island. Climbing up was difficult because tall mountains stood in front. Exhausted, the boys rested in small caves below. After some effort, they reached the other side. It wasn't Fiji but Ada Island, which was quite far from Fiji. In the beginning, everyone thought that if a boat passed nearby, they would ask for help and return to school. But fate did not favor them. This island was so remote that boats rarely ever passed here. While waiting, the next night arrived, and hunger and thirst had made their condition terrible. A person can survive a few days without food, but without water, life ends in just 3 days. There was no clean drinking water anywhere on the island, and thirst was becoming unbearable. Then one boy found a bird's nest, took an egg, broke it, and drank it. Drinking eggs quenched their thirst a little, but there was still nothing to eat. So they began catching birds and eating them raw. The gas stove had been lost in the water on the first night, leaving no choice but to eat raw meat. Just imagine how strange and difficult it was to eat raw meat. Some boys even started vomiting. But to stay alive, everyone accepted it. Slowly, days passed. They survived by catching birds and drinking eggs, hoping that one day a ship would appear and they would find the way home. But that hope remained only a hope. No one passed by. The boys were trapped on the island. Months went by without seeing a single boat or ship. Now everyone had accepted in their hearts that returning home was impossible. In Tonga, their parents had also given up hope, and the police had closed the case. Now it was simply a fight to stay alive. One day, Stephen and Luke were catching birds. Luke caught 2, but Stephen had caught nothing. Luke said, "Come on, let's go back." But Stephen spotted a large bird. While chasing it, he fell down the cliff. Fortunately, his life was saved, but his leg was broken. The other boys carried him up, but they had no medicine or painkillers. Stephen writhed in pain and screamed for days. Then one friend thought of something and splinted the leg with wood and leaves. After several days, the leg began to heal. More time passed, and the boys learned how to make fire, a great gift for them. Now the need to eat raw meat ended. They started cooking it. Fire brought another benefit. Before, one boy had to sit on the hill watching for ships. Now the smoke could be seen from far away. Time kept passing like this. They were amazed at how 15 months had gone by. In that period, they had made the island livable, built huts from wood and leaves, learned to collect rainwater, found wild chickens, and even got some knives. The island was now sufficient for living, but the longing for home still remained in their hearts. Finally, one day Stephen saw a boat in the distance. He waved leaves and his hands. On the boat was a man named Peter who saw the column of smoke and came closer. Looking through binoculars, he saw Stephen waving. At first, Peter thought he was a tribal person because the boys' clothes had completely changed by then. Peter returned and told the entire story to the media. In no time, the news was filled with these boys. The tale spread everywhere, and people learned about their courage and struggle. A major film was also made about their lives, and Peter received a share because he was the one who told the world about this incident. Now my question to you, if you were in those boys' place and trapped on an island for 15 months, how would you survive or how would you return? Please tell in the comments. If you liked this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.